All right, here we go. I think we're up and running. Yeah, we are. Welcome to Moody Monday. Spirit Elevator is up and running. All right, thanks for checking in. Yesterday I thought I could have been dead today, so I used up all I had on yesterday. Today I got to thinking I may not live to see another day, so I spend all of my monies on today. Tomorrow if I'm still here, what a sorry fellow I'll be, for I'll have nothing left to spend on me. Here we go. Somehow I stay alive through all the crazy shit I've seen, and it sure is nice to see you all again. Nice to see you, Dawn. Hey. All right. Dawn, thanks for checking in. I was going to roll right into the next song, but I see something that's kind of bothering me. I usually like to make sure that you can see my hand in here. Some people play the home game, you know, and they like to know what key the songs are in and stuff. So let me make an adjustment. I'll be right with you. I could raise myself. That might do it. I think I'm. That's as high as that guy is gonna get. All right, no wait. All right. People tell me sometimes they watch with their instruments and they like to make sure they can always see that my left hand over here. All right, well, welcome Moody Monday. Here we go. Who we got checking in the chat here? Josh, good to see you. Thanks for checking in. I love when you guys say hello over there in the chat. Let me know you're out there. Well, it's Moody Monday, right? Let's get right into it. Moody Monday. How are you, Moody Monday? I've got to work like a slave all day. Here comes Tuesday, oh, hard Tuesday. I'm so tired, I've got no time to play. Here comes Wednesday, I'm beat to my socks. When my girl calls, I'm gonna tell her I'm out. Yeah, 'cause Thursday is a hard working day. Friday I get my pay. Saturday morning, all my tiredness is gone away. I got my money and I got my honey, and I'm out on the stand to play. Oh, Sunday morning my head hurts so bad, but it was worth it for the good time we had. Now I'm gonna get my rest. Monday's a mess. Moody Monday, here we are. All right, we got to say hi to Cassidy out there. All right. Hello, Cassidy. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for tuning in with us tonight on Monday evening. Moody Monday, we call it always. And so thanks for being here. Let's start with some blues. Let's just... there used to be a radio show, Blue Monday, and that's kind of where I got the Moody Monday from. There was a radio show that a friend of mine used to really like, and he would listen to that every Monday night. Tune into Blue Monday. So we'll start out with some blues tunes, blues-based songs for Moody Monday as we get settled in. Thanks for checking in, everybody. Alan, good to see you, man. Thanks for saying hi. 66, that's Ian. I know that now. The kazoo, where is it? Thanks for reminding me, because sometimes I whip it out of my mouth at the end of the solo, and I gotta reset it over here. I gotta put it in grabbing distance, you know, like my gavel. Where the hell's my gavel? Right here in grabbing distance. All right, let's commence this meeting. Meeting commenced. That feels good. Feels official. I didn't shut it off again, did I? No, good. We're still live, right? Yes, we are. Sometimes I commence the meeting so hard it shuts it off. Boston River. I'll play that song, River. I'll do a bunch of my own tunes tonight. We have no agenda here tonight, except I did promise some blues tunes at the beginning. I would like to do that. So let's start there, and then we'll let the evening unfold and see where we go. We had mentioned my friend Josh Rosberg, dude, a musician friend of ours who we lost a few years ago. We had mentioned his song the other night on the show, and I found it here, so I want to get to that. Maybe we'll do some Biggie tunes. My friend Big Mike Pellerin. Maybe we'll do some of his other songs. Something besides Tree of Life. He's got other songs, too. All right, anyway, let's get into it. Thanks for being here. Once I lived the life of a millionaire. I spent all my money, I didn't have no cares. Took all my friends out for a mighty good time. I bought bootleg liquor, champagne and wine. Then I began to fall so low. I lost my good friends, I know where to go. But if I get my hands on $1 again, I'm gonna hang on to it till the old eagle grins. Because nobody knows you when you're down and out. In your pocket, not one penny, And as for friends, ain't got any. But when you get back on your feet again, everybody wanna be a long lost friend. Yeah, it's mighty strange, without any doubt. Nobody knows you when you're down and out. Nobody knows you when you're down and out. In your pocket you got no penny. And as for friends, you ain't even got any, not even Jenny. When you get back on your old feet again, then everybody wanna be just like your long lost friend. Oh, it's mighty strange, without any doubt. Nobody knows you, oh, nobody knows you. Yeah, nobody knows you when you're down and out. If you ever change your mind about leaving me behind, won't you bring it to me? Bring your sweet loving, bring it on home to me. Yeah, me, yeah, me. I know you laugh, girl, when you laugh, but now I know I only hurt myself. Won't you bring it to me? Bring your sweet loving, bring it on home to me. Yeah, me, yeah, me. I'll give you jewelry and all my money too. That ain't all I'm gonna do for you. Baby, if you bring it back, bring your sweet loving, bring it on home to me. Yeah, me, yeah, me. Oh, because it was all the way down there. Shit. Do it again, man. I know you'll always be a slave till I'm buried deep in my grave. Won't you bring it back? Bring your sweet love, bring it on home to me. You know I tried treat you right. Won't you stay all night? Won't you bring it on? Bring your sweet loving. Bring it on home, me. Yeah, me. Yeah, me. Oh, girl, if you ever change your mind about leaving me behind, won't you bring it to me? Bring your sweet loving. Bring it on home to me. Yeah, me. Yeah, me. Well, all right. Bring it on home to me, an old Sam Cooke song. Used to love listening to that dude sing it. Yeah. All right. Oh, let's see. So, Ian says he was just listening to River on the radio of some sort. Why don't we start there? One of my songs called River. All right. Hey, Moose Eggs. All right. That's little Peepsies there. Checking in. Thanks for saying hello. Appreciate it. All right. Yeah, we got some Spirit Elevator momentum back in the show again. Good to be going live on a regular basis. All right. River. A song called River going out to Ian tonight. Take a little time if we're gonna find our way through the murky waters. It's gonna take a few years if I'm ever gonna get this off my mind. 'Cause every time I dig a hole, I'm digging into this earth a little bit deeper. If I'm to fill it back up, it's gonna take a little bit of time. Little time to get us across the water. A little more time to navigate this crooked line. A little time to get us across the desert. 'Cause there's always an oasis on the horizon of my mind. Well, the spirit was strong, but the flesh was weak. I found it so hard to turn the other cheek. You live by the sword, you're gonna die by the sword. And if you're living at all, you can thank the Lord. I heard it was a good book, I had to take a second look. Never really knew what life was about. Never cared about tradition, always lived on intuition. Never really settled, but I really never settled down. The river never knew nothing about her mother or father. Yes, she'd always find her way through the twists and the turns and the crooked lies. Never wanting for nothing but her freedom. She rolled on and on. And when it got calm, she'd reflect the stars up in the skies. A little bit of freedom, it was shining up off the water. A little bit of freedom, was strong, but the flesh was weak. I found it so hard to turn the other cheek. You live by the sword, you're gonna die by the sword. And if you're living at all, you can thank the Lord. I heard it was a good book, I had to take a second look. I never really knew what life was about. Never cared about tradition, always lived an intuition. Never really settled, but I really never settled down. Oh no, no. Well, the spirit was strong, but the flesh was weak. I found it so hard to turn the other cheek, yeah. Live by the sword, you're gonna die by the sword. And if you live it at all, thank the Lord. I heard it was a good book, I had to take a second look. I never really knew what life was about. Never cared about tradition, always lived on intuition. Never really settled, but I really never settled down. No, no, no. All right. Well, there you go. All right, the show's off. The show's off and running. We're getting some tunes done for you. All right, hope you guys are doing all right on Monday. It was a long day over on my end, but it feels good. No, I feel like I got some momentum going as far as getting kind of a routine in where I can be comfortable coming downstairs and doing the show more often. I love it because it's even if no one was here, it's like great practice for me to just be running through tunes, on a consistent basis. But like 1,000 times more fun to do it this way with a little elevator crew. So thanks for being part of the crew. Good to have you down here. Good to be hang just for a while. Let's do this Tom Petty tune. I'll do this. I kind of do this my own way. I just popped in front of my face here. I got other songs in mind, but let's do this one for now. It's good to be the king. Let's see. That's the one part that ends up being weird. Let's see how it goes. 3, 4. Yeah, to give him a smile. It's good to get high and never come down. I'm gonna be the king of your own little town. Yeah, the world will swing if I were king. Can I help it if I still dream from time to time? It's good to be the king and have your own way. Get a feeling of peace at the end of the day. And when your bulldog barks and your canary sings, you're out there with the winners. It's good to be king. Yeah, be king. When dogs get wings. Can I help it if I still dream from time to time? Good to be the king if I have some place in my mind where I go from time to time. Yeah, we go from time to time, time to time, time, time to 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 time. Fantastic live version of that song on the Tom Petty anthology. The Tom Petty anthology is an excellent deep dive into Tom Petty. It's a collection of a bunch of his great songs that they did live, mostly live over the years. I think it's all live. Yeah, the live anthology. It's called the Live Anthology. It's live. Great versions of a lot of songs. He does a lot of cool covers on that one too. Definitely worth checking out. I recommend the Tom Petty Live Anthology. All right, this one we brought this one up in conversation. One of the last shows here, we were talking about some friends of ours, and man, the older you get, the more friends die, and it's a sad thing, part of life though. When you gotta, and when they're musicians, I like to try to keep their music alive. So Josh, he'd been down here a few times too in the Spirit Elevator studio. One time with Carly, and one time I don't know if he was on his own the other time, but he was down here a few times. Oh yeah, speaking of having people down here, the plan was to have Eric Hubin down here tonight, but he started another job, and he could have made it. He said, he goes, "Oh, I'm not going to leave you hanging. I could get there by 8." I said, "No, man. We'll do it next week." So make sure, because I like to make sure we have enough time beforehand to hang for a little bit. Maybe eat something, you know. Yeah, and chicken and rice tonight with and peas. Pass the peas. Pass the peas. Pass the peas, like we used to say. Old James Brown song there. All right, this next one's called Whippoorwill by Josh Rosberg. Rest in peace, Josh. Everybody's got a hold of their machines. They've got them in their hands, cooking up the master plans. They get on out, live their lives like magazines, and never take a stand. Purchase things that they don't need. I don't live that way. You don't either. Let's be friends and we can seize the day. Make the little getaway and run into the hills. Light a fire with the magazines and dance around the flames, like we are from an ancient scene on a tapestry, like a long lost century, hung on a pallet in the palace of the queen. In summertime, if you're inclined, if you're lonely and feel like I do, come rest your bones with me. Visit the still, sit and listen to the whippoorwill, singing a sweet, sad song. I won't lie to you, all my lying days are done. I only tell the truth, even if the truth is a loaded gun. Baby, truth be told, I know you're only in my mind an incarnation of the queen of summertime. And when the summer ends and the leaves all start to change, we'll start the process, hearts are rearranged. When the cold reminds, if you're inclined, if you're lonely and feel like I do, come rest your bones with me. Visit the still, sit and listen to the whippoorwill singing a sweet, sad song. If you're lonely and feel like I do, come rest your bones with me. Visit the still, sit and listen to the whippoorwill sing a sweet, sad song. If you're lonely and feel like I do, come rest your bones with me. Visit the still, sit and listen to the whippoorwill singing a sweet, sad song. If you're lonely and feel like I do, come rest your bones with me. All right. Old song by Josh Rosberg. All right. Keeping Josh's memory alive there. I love that song. Real pretty tune. Mary, thanks for checking in. All right. I was just talking about Blue Monday, the old radio show that Paul used to listen to. That kind of gave me the idea for. So I got a name when I was naming our days. That was kind of in my head. I always like that I like the tradition of listening to a radio show on a specific night. I used to have a job cleaning the floors, like doing janitor work at an office building. And I just had to make sure it was done by Monday morning. So when I first started the job, I used to get there at 4, 5, in the afternoon, make sure everything was all done, nice and early. And then eventually I was having to call in the alarm and make sure that the alarm was unset when I went in there because no one else was around. And I was in there at midnight, 1 o'clock, as long as it was done before the truckers started coming in the morning. But Sunday night, HCN used to have the comedy hour, and then they'd have the Grateful Dead hour. I forget what the order was. I'm not sure if Grateful Dead followed the comedy, or if the comedy hour followed the Grateful Dead. Mary might know, but that was always my routine over there on that job. I'd throw on WHCN Sunday nights. They'd have the Grateful Dead hour, and then they'd have the comedy hour. Listen to a bunch of old comedies in the 90s on that show. You want to hear a joke? Speaking of comedy show, you want to make it a comedy show real quick? All right, I don't know if the kid's in bed. All right, there was there's so many. I have like a whole thing in my head of elderly jokes or like nursing home jokes for some reason. There's a lot of jokes take place in a doctor's office. A lot of funny material comes from the doctor's office, I guess. This one is a lot of you have probably already heard this one now at this point. And I'm looking at the chat. I'm like, everybody here has probably heard this joke. So it was a nursing home. It just popped in my head here. Now I got to say it because I can't think of another joke till I tell this one, I think. So it was a nursing home, all right? And the Grateful Dead played second. Mary's chiming in the chat. Getting my memory straight here about the WHCN comedy hour. And then once I heard the Grateful Dead start playing, once the jokes were over and the Grateful Dead started playing, I was always like, oh shit, I got to get the hell out of here. Let's just mop this shit. Let's just change the baskets, empty the trash and get the hell out of here. So let's see. Let's go to the nursing home. I was touring around the nursing home looking for a place. You know, this guy was touring the nursing home for the first time, looking for a place to possibly put his parents. You know, they were looking for a new place to move in. They were getting on in age and needed some help with the day-to-day, you know. And so he's getting the tour. He's on the first floor, walking down the halls, and everything seems pretty normal. And then one of the doors of the patients is open. Of the patients or residents, I should call them, was open, and a man was just furiously, hammering himself. You know, he was just furiously going at it. Pleasuring himself but furiously in the corner of the room, and to completion. And the guy says, "What the hell is going on here? How is this allowed?" And the nurse goes, "Oh, we just leave him alone. He's got a very, very specific disease where if he doesn't take care of that 5 times a day, he'll have serious backup, serious problems. So we just let him do his thing. Sometimes he likes to leave the door open. We don't even say anything anymore." Okay, I guess I can overlook that. So now they get up to the second floor, going down the hall. Another door is open. He takes a peek in, and there's a nurse on her knees in front of an old man, and she's going at it, and she's finishing him off, for God's sakes. And he can't believe his eyes. He goes, "This can't be right. What's going on in there?" And the head nurse says, "Oh yeah, he's got the same disease, just much better insurance." Okay. Hey, Bob Weir there. That's in the chat. We got Martha checking in. All right, let's get back to the tunes. Please, for God's sakes. All right, well, since we got Martha here, you'll know the Biggie songs. I did a song by Josh Rosberg, and now let's do some of the Biggie songs that are not Tree of Life. Biggie had a bunch of songs. Tree of Life is an easier one to... Oh, you got Carol with you down there. Perfect. All right, then you're gonna love this. Then I'm glad I didn't do these yet. Thanks for checking in. Carol was Biggie's sister, and she's out there tonight at the campground. They're tuning in from the campground. We had a great time at the campground. River got to play some song. We set the band up in the pavilion, and I made a night of it. The whole campground all came out to check it out. It was fun. And 13-year-old River sat in on a couple of songs. He practiced up Ain't Talking About Love by Van Halen. Worked on that one, and it went great. It was awesome. Ed, who was on drums, came around to the front and sang the song, and River played the drums. Okay, let's do some songs from Carol's brother, Biggie, who sadly we lost many years ago now. I think it was around 2010 was Biggie. I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong there, but sometimes I'm terrible with my dates and years, but it's been a long time. But his songs are still alive. All right, like this one. Happened long ago, stutter reaches, futile times. Music touched my spirit, freed my soul and cleared my mind. Never turning back again, dimensions intertwined. Things are really happening, my spirit's soaring high. Now these days get shorter for everyone involved. Pick up all the pieces and see how we have evolved. Try to answer questions the it seems those mysteries have flashed. Stumbling out the back door, getting high and getting trashed. Music helped me find my way whenever I got lost. Time and space, the object, I don't care what the cost. So if you see me out on the road and wonder who I am, I'll tell you about Dwayne Allman, Beauty and the Grateful Dead. If you ask me about Bob Dylan, he's still blowing in the wind. If you ask me about old Jerry, yeah, he's coming back again. If you ask me about George Harrison, he never should have died. I remember on the day he did, my brother, he'd cry, he'd cry. And so did I. And so did I. And so did I. And so did I. And so did rock and roll heaven. I swear I wanna go. All my favorite rock stars play a never-ending show. And if your heart is true, we all go there when we die. We will all go there together, join our hands and learn to fly. Learn to fly. Learn to fly. So did I. And so did I. And so did I. And so did I. Rock and roll heaven is where I wanna go. All my favorite rock stars play a never-ending show. If your heart is true, we will go there when we die. We'll all go there together, join our hands and learn to fly, learn to fly. And so will I. Yeah, I guess he just said that. Taking poor man's blues, think he's cried his life away. Taking old man's truth, could not go outside today. Buildings of bricks made out of cement and steel. Highways of pavement, man, it's a wonderful year to be alive, to be alive. See my good friend's dog, no one can feed him today. Can't afford the horse meat on the supermarket shelf. What can we get for ourselves? I think I see the black limousine riding down Highway 9. Stick out my thumb, I'm ready to run, and it's a mystical time to be alive. Pleasure and pain, she said, sit in a box on my back porch. Pandora's key can open up the box. Don't be scared of what flies out. Before the storm, a child was born. We all named her the sky. Everyone come and see what we've done. We've carved our names out of ice. Ain't the greatest life, but it's great to be alive. Ain't the greatest life, but it's great to be alive. Ain't the greatest life, but it's great to be alive. Our poor brother was killed today, blown up by some foreign war. His mother and father said, "Where is my son? Is it true that he was killed by an American bomb?" And the government feel as though they've done nothing wrong, and the whole place felt vindicate their souls. And we never know the truth 'cause the media is on. It's here to stay, so enjoy your day forever and ever, amen. And if you still, you probably will think that it was alright. Ain't the greatest life, but it's great to be alive. Ain't the greatest life, but it's great to be alive. Ain't the greatest life, but it's great to be alive. Did you take your pills today? Really can't live without them. Windows of your eyes are deranged. Try not to feel so strange. Somebody said, get out of your bed, there's a party going on outside. And if you don't come, you can't have no fun, and life just passed you by. It ain't the greatest life, but it's great to be alive. It ain't the greatest life, but it's great to be alive. Ain't the greatest life, but it's great to be alive. Ain't the greatest life, but it's great to be alive. Ain't the greatest life, but it's great to be alive. Ain't the greatest life, but it's great to be alive. I'm so glad, I'm so glad, I'm so glad I'm alive. Glad, I'm so glad, I'm so glad I'm alive. I'm so glad, I'm so glad I'm alive. 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 Floodgates are open, watchtower ring true. Crowd is shaking low, the sky no longer blue. Here we go. The floodgates are open, watchtower rings true. Four winds are blowing, and the sky no longer blue. Earth is shaking, Lord, and trees are falling down. God must be angry at the world he has found. 40 more days and 40 more nights, God's gonna do whatever he likes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wildflowers are spreading all across this land. Disease is killing off some of my best friends. About time to kneel down and pray. Could this be the end? I say goodbye to this mankind and populate the earth again. 40 days and 40 more nights. 40 days and 40 more nights. God's gonna do whatever he likes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is one more song by Biggie. This is his song on 40 Days and 40 Nights. say 40 more days and 40 more nights. God's gonna do whatever he likes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 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 Where the wrath of God is smoking, disasters in the air. Downfall, the buildings load, everybody is running scared. I can see the future, but I can't hear the past. Everybody knows it now, this day is gonna be their last. 40 days and 40 more nights, God's gonna do whatever he likes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 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 Oh, yeah. 40 more days and 40 more nights, God's gonna do whatever he likes. 40 more days and 40 more nights, God's gonna do whatever he likes. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. 40 more days and 40 more nights, God's gonna do whatever he likes. 40 more days and 40 more nights, God's gonna do whatever he likes. 40 more days and 40 more nights, God's gonna do whatever he likes. 40 more days, 40 more nights. 40 days and 40 more nights. 40 days and 40 more nights. 40 days and 40 more nights. Yeah. Another great song by Mike. Big Mike Pellerin. Big Mike Pellerin. All right. Carol, I'm glad the timing worked out here where I could play those songs. Had those songs ready for you. Beautiful. All right. So that was a trio of Big Mike songs. So Alan, don't worry, man. I was the same way as you. When the first time I heard Biggie was playing a bunch of songs over at Toontown, and he did a whole bunch of Bob Dylan songs. He did a lot of Grateful Dead. He did a bunch of Bob Dylan, and he snuck one of his songs in there. He did Tree of Life in the middle of some other Bob Dylan songs. So I thought Tree of Life was a Bob Dylan song, and this is before the internet. And the whole next day, I'm looking around, I'm trying to figure it out. I was like, what album is that on? Looking through the Bob Dylan albums I had. Where's Tree of Life on here? Couldn't find it because it wasn't there. I had to call him up. I said, what album is that Bob Dylan song, Tree of Life? He goes, oh, that's one of Biggie's. I said, no shit. Good tune. All right. I haven't done this one in a while. Let's been heavy on the Tom Petty lately, I think. That's all right. Let's do it. When the time gets right, when the time gets right, I'm gonna need you. Oh, whoops. I got it now. Fix it in post. 3, 4. When the time gets right, I'm gonna pick you up and take you far away from trouble, my love, under a big old sky, out in a field of green. Yeah, there's gotta be something left for us to believe. Yeah, baby. All right. Well, this is cool. I got the old book out here. Looking through tunes. I could do some of my tunes too at any point here, but it's kind of fun. I dug this old book up. I mean, all right, here we go. I was looking through the book and I was thinking, well, most of these songs I've already updated and moved into the new book at this point, but not this one. All right, here we go. We haven't done this in a long time. I didn't expect to do this one tonight or possibly ever again, but I found it. Tom Jones. All right. Another song with the moral of the story, I think, is just walk away. You can always just walk away. All right. Oh my God, I've been watching that ridiculous, not ridiculous, I mean, it's a tragic, Lindsay Clancy trial. I saw a lot of people talking about. I don't think we're going to get into it here. It's too much to talk about right now. But my God, all right, we're not going to get into it. But I will tell you, one person who's happy about the trial is Tom Hall. If you're following the trial, you'll get that joke. Tom Hall is happy about the trial. Country singer Tom Hall. All right, let's do this song by Tom Jones. Song about betrayal. Ooh. All right, ready? I saw the light on the night that I passed by her window. I saw the flickering shadows of love on her blind. She was my woman. As she deceived me, I watched as she went out of my mind. I crossed the street to her house and she opened the door. This is where she goes wrong. She stood there laughing, ha ha ha. I felt the knife in my hand and she laughed no more. Oh my Tom Jones. Delilah. Miles to go before we see snow on the mountain, but Colorado is on the horizon tonight. Mesquite and Mando lit up like a fire. You're my candle that keeps the highway bright. All through the night I hear you dreaming, cleaning out the closets in your mind. I keep my head low, drive under the radar, so that later on we can still be on this ride. There's no place to hide on the mountain, no place to hide in the snow, no more caves or caverns or taverns on this road. There's no place to hide on the mountain, nowhere to sneak by or lay low, no more sails or coddles or bottles once we go down this road all alone, all alone. He is alone, he sits at home in silence, as violence in the hills begins to rise. Looking down, he can see the fires on the hills. Now see the fire in his eyes. There's no place to hide on the mountain, no place to hide in the snow, no more caves or caverns or taverns on this road. There's no place to hide on the mountain, nowhere to sneak by or lay low, no more sails or coddles or bottles once we go down this road all alone. Left town and the bands have stopped their sounds, for the last tents have been rolled up and everybody's bought and sold their luck. If you look for me downtown, chances are I'll still be hanging around, waiting for someone to pick me up. Maybe you could come fill my cup, or I finally find a reason to believe in something new. I kindly up and leave this place to go anywhere with clear away, and I see life in a brand new way. I get my work done when I can, 'cause I know they'll be back again when the sun starts setting soon, and I realize beside the moon. Help me bridge that gap of fear, bridges along this time of year. Oh, I finally found a reason to believe in something new. I can't leave up and leave this place to go anywhere with you. 'Cause at the time my life was freezing, but now the warmth that's coming through, I kindly share the seasons with you. I needed faith in something, and you meant something to me. I believe that nothing can destroy your energy. Believe the sunlight, and I see you in the trees. I see you in the lovebirds, and I see you in the bees. Oh, 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 I finally found a reason to believe in something new. I kindly up and leave this place to go anywhere with you. At the time my life was freezing, but now the warmth is coming through. I kindly share the seasons with you. All right. Going out to Alan. Wanted to hear a few originals there. James from Long Island checking in. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for saying hi. Let me know you're out there. So we got Alan out there. We got a good little crew here tonight. Mary's checking in. We got the whole campground tuning in tonight. So let's do a campground song. This is a song I wrote in a campground years ago, a campground called Fountain Blue. I named the song Fountain Blue. Fountain Blue was Fountain Blue State Park in Mandeville, Louisiana. So New Orleans is here, and then there's a Lake Pontchartrain just north of New Orleans, and there's a causeway that goes 30 miles across the pond, Lake Pontchartrain, the lake. And then right up above that is Mandeville. And Route 190, I think, goes this way. And Fountain Blue State Park was right there on 190 in Mandeville. The next town over was Lacombe. And then Sweet Daddy's Cajun Barbecue, I don't think it's there anymore, but was a restaurant that was right there on 190. And we worked there for a little while when we were traveling. I was traveling around the country when I was 25 years old. And staying in different campgrounds. And that's kind of when I started practicing and learning the acoustic guitar. So before that, I was a bass player, but along the way, I picked up the guitar too. All right. So yeah, this is an older song for sure, called Fountain Blue.
Over an hour driving
Sweet Daddy's Cajun barbecue was the next thing we would do. I worked as a cook in the back on the line. You were a waitress at the time. We would take home a mountain of food, and Miss Shirley never thought it was rude. Big Jim was a coon-ass son, and the rest of everyone in the kitchen would be at the big parade. But I didn't know then that I was never gonna see them again. Well, thank you for visiting the Spirit Elevator tonight. I really appreciate you guys every time you come down here and hang out for a little while. We'll do it again tomorrow. Let's twist one up tomorrow night. Twisted Tuesday. All right. We'll see you all then. And we're going to say goodnight for now. And peace out. Alice is here, baby. I'll play your number, Alice. I'll play your number tonight. Split it 50-50. If you having a turnout right, you always were the lucky one. I always made it look easy. Always wore the biggest gun. Never gave up without a fight. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Don. And Alan, I gotta say thank you, man. If anybody, I gotta mention this every now and again. If anybody ever wants to leave a tip for elevator grease, we always appreciate it. Helps with the morale in the elevator. So Alan, I gotta say thank you for that. And Laura Deeds, always, I gotta say thank you for that. And James, thanks for checking in, brother. I play your number, Alice. I play your number tonight. Split it 50-50. If it happened to turn out right, you always were the lucky one. I always made it look easy. Always wore the biggest gun. You never gave up without a fight. Remember a night in Atlanta when you stole a crystal ball from a Spanish man outside the concert hall. I saw you lost your karma. Your numbers haven't come up since, but if you really wanna see if your digits hit, I'll play your number, Alice. I'll play your number tonight. We'll split it 50-50. If it happened to turn out right, you always were the lucky one. I always made it look easy. Always wore the biggest guns. You never gave up without a fight. Remember I drive through Montana. It was a long and lonely night. I was a really big fan of Miss Riley James that night. I know you thought I was wacko. I tuned in as long as I did, but nothing goes with tobacco. Like the occult had the aliens. I'll play your number, Alice. I'll play your number tonight. Split it 50-50. If it happened to turn out right, you always were the lucky one. Always made it look easy. Always wore the biggest guns. You never gave up without a fight. We're making back to our hometown. I'm looking anywhere USA. We knew we never could get back to like it was back in the day. We'll have to build a new life, but I'll never forget what I learned. So when I play with fire, I don't get upset when I burn. I'll play your number, Alice. I'll play your number tonight. We'll split it 50-50. If it happened to turn out right, you always were the lucky one. I always made it look easy. Always wore the biggest guns. You never gave up without a fight. Cha-cha-cha. Woo! All right, we'll see you all tomorrow. Ladies, lay off Patrick Clancy. My God, he didn't do it, okay? All right. Good night, everybody. Happy Moody Monday.